Hello and welcome to another episode of The Naked Turner. Well, today I'm not doing any turning, but I did just pull a starter motor out of a 1995 Subaru Impreza with a 2.2 liter engine, and I pulled it out of right there, and I just went and got a replacement here, and here's the replacement. It was really nice. I took it into O'Reilly, and O'Reilly actually, I had a feeling, or a very strong suspicion, that it was the starter that was causing this problem with my daughter's car. And I took it in, and they were nice enough to do a test on it as well. And it passed twice, and then it failed on the third time, which is kind of what it's doing in my daughter's car. Every once in a while it'll work, and then it won't work. So I got a new one. I'm going to take this and install it. Shouldn't take that long. It only took me about 10 minutes at the most to pull this unit out. There's only 2 bolts holding it in, and then 1 bolt that connects to the solenoid, which, let's see if I can do this. I'm trying to hold this and shoot. So one that connects to the solenoid here. So it's relatively simple. The ignition control is right here. That goes to the ignition control line, and then this will be constant power coming from the battery. So that's all there is to it. It really couldn't be much easier. So I'm going to go about putting this in, and then we'll see if the car starts. Okay, so I'm putting in the ground right now. I just have that almost fully bolted down, and bottom bolt is on, and then I'll be tightening up the live power and then installing the ignition as the last item, and then this will be installed just a few minutes away. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helps. Okay, so the starter's installed. It wasn't that hard. Now I'm just gonna test it. Nice, starts right up. Okay, that fixes the problem. New starter motor in a Subaru Impreza. So that wasn't that difficult of a project. If you're thinking of taking it on, what you're going to need, at least for this car, is you will need a 14 millimeter, a 17 millimeter, and a 13 millimeter wrench or socket. And of course the socket would be easier for some of the longer bolts. And the top bolt is a 15 millimeter. The bottom bolt is actually a 17 millimeter nut, and you want to make sure you don't lose the nut and the washer underneath the car. I actually dropped my washer down under the car and had to retrieve it, but it's not that hard, and it will save you at least $150 to $250 in labor, depending on where you're taking it and what car you're having to do this to. So if you're thinking about replacing your starter, just take a look at it, maybe watch a few other YouTube videos, and it's not that hard. Like I said, you can do it. Put some penetrating oil on the bolts and nuts before you try to move them, which I actually didn't do because I just came straight home from work and went at it, and was lucky that they weren't too frozen up. And then when you go to put it back together, I actually put a little bit of anti-seize on the bolts, and that'll just make it friendlier for yourself or whoever else happens to be the one to pull those bolts out next time. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe this will save you a little bit of trouble.